There are many, many different resources for research when it comes to digital marketing. Everybody has a tool. Here's what I would suggest. There are a couple of places where you can do some keyword research.
So first question comes from Ethan. He is a periodontist, which is dental implants.
I know.
Like nobody knows what
well,
periodontists do, but
I thought you were asking if I knew what a periodontist is. Yes, I do.
No, that's
but does everybody else know?
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know. The average guy, that's tricky. Anyway, he is a periodontist here in Idaho Falls. He asks this: how do I know the topics people are searching for so I can adjust my website or online content? Nathan, go.
Great question. Hi, Ethan. Hopefully I can answer this in a way that'll help you out a little bit. There are different ways that we can answer this, and it's all going to be based on what it is that we want to accomplish. But for I guess with all things being equal and trying to just be upfront,
sure.
Let's assume that he's talking about topics for like SEO or something that he can write about. You know, he mentions how he can adjust his website or the content that he's making, probably because he wants to attract searchers based on the criteria of what they're searching. So here's what I would say. There are many, many different resources for research when it comes to digital marketing. Everybody has a tool. And in fact, at Arcane Marketing, we have subscriptions to 10 or 12 or 15 different tools that we use, or maybe more. Mm-hmm. But all of them serve a purpose. All of them give us some information and some data. And some of them are really good to help us find search volumes for certain types of keywords. And so where he is a periodontist and he's saying, I wanted to know, like, how do I attract maybe this more condensed or specific type of audience, right? Because not everybody needs a periodontist. Well, let's hope that not everybody needs a periodontist all the time. And so here's what I would suggest. There are a couple of places where you can do some keyword research. Ones that are just coming off the top of my head here are, there's a tool that was put out by Neil Patel some time ago. We have a subscription to it. It's called Uber Suggest. And what you can do is you can put in a website or a keyword, and it starts to give you some really relevant information that is attached or like something in the same topic as that keyword. So he could type in periodontist or, implants or something along those lines in that tool, and it would start making some additional suggestions. It recommends, it tells you a little about what some of the search trends are, like when the volume of the search of the keyword is higher than other times. It tells you approximate volume in search traffic per month. It tells you, now, one of the things that a lot of people may or may not already know is that if we are trying to jump into something that's pretty new, there's already somebody out there that's doing it.
Right. So
we can see what they're doing well in or not. And so one of our research tactics is that we typically will type in a competitor's website, something that, and maybe it's not a competitor, maybe it's just somebody else in the industry.
Correct.
And then we can look at what are some keywords that they rank well for, or what are some of the topics that are outlined on their website. There's another tool that I really like. And it has its unique purpose. It's called Answer the Public. So it's answerthepublic.com. And it has changed a lot over the last couple of years, but the tool is designed to give you suggestions based on search volume in Google. And the suggestions are literally what are people typing into that search query bar in Google. And it'll tell you, so you type in a keyword and it starts to give you the who, what, when, where, why associated with that keyword, any like pieces, and it tells you which ones are, higher or more often searched, higher search volume. It might tell you sentences. It gives you full-blown sentences of how people might use it in a search. And if you don't have a subscription, I believe you get 3 free uses per day. anyways, I'm not sure if it's per day or per month, but
the thing I like about that website is it always frames the answers in the form of a question, kind
Correct.
of like Jeopardy or something, right? So if he goes and he types in dental implants, it might come back with who are dental implants for, or how do I get dental implants? Again, the who, what, when, where. It's always kind of in the form of a question that helps you and I as business owners and marketers say, okay, well, let me answer that in an article or a blog post or a social media post. So great.
That's right. Another tool, anyway, so that's a great one. And then one thing you can do is I believe you can export data out of that tool. So that's really helpful. It puts it into either a PDF or in a spreadsheet for you to give you some ideas, and you can use that. Another tool that comes to top of mind, it's really common in the digital marketing world, is Sem Rush.
Okay.
And you can find out all kinds of information, whether it's for pay-per-click or for social media or for organic search from that tool. Again, can export, use it to search competitors, see what they pull up for. I have a little process that I go through to help identify not only good keywords, but which ones are less competitive and still have some good traffic. We might have to talk about that another time. That might be a little Sem Rush hack process, or we could, anyways. So that's what I do. But I will give you this piece here, Ethan, is that regardless of what the keywords are you want to be in front of because of search volume, that shouldn't be your foremost thought. It really should be, how are you going to do the very best at your job, and how can you explain that to people? And when you're doing that, those search terms kind of just naturally come out.
Yeah.
So if you are doing what you should in explaining about your brand, about your office, about your staff, or some of the services you provide, or how you go about doing it, or what makes you different than other people. If you're really focused on helping to do really good education and maybe err on the side of layman's terms as opposed to technical terms, so that everybody can understand, I don't even know if some of those other tools are completely necessary. So if you are unarmed or unsure how to find those tools, or even want to use them or export any data, go with what you know. That's what I would say.
I love your emphasis on jargon. You know, it seems like when you're an expert in your industry, in your field, so often we use technical terms, jargon, acronyms, and just things that people in the industry, we understand, but outside of that, to our customers, they don't know those buzzwords and those kinds of things. So think a little bit like a kindergartner, pretend like a kindergartner and elementary schooler is typing and searching for something. What kinds of words and phrases would they use? You're probably going to hit it right on the mark, but avoid some of those fancier, more technical terms, because people don't know those to even search them.
That's right. The assumption you should always make is that your audience just doesn't know.
Correct.
And so assume they don't know, and try and start at the beginning, and then, work it out and make it simple so that everybody can understand.
Keep it simple.